Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
It happened months ago, but I still remember it like it was just yesterday. Be a few months ago. Be hiking in forest, it's been about 8 days already. Have AM44 nugget, folding bayonet, and a .22 pistol. Be walking down some lightly walked trail, still has leaves and grass on it, only a few people must have used it, and sparingly at that. Have general hiking gear, Alice pack, canteen, kabar knife, Estwing hatchet, wool blanket, flint/steel, that kind of shit. Be looking around and enjoying general view of everything. See a deer in the distance. Take out M44 and just start watching it through iron sights. It begins to move and I decide to follow it. It eventually leads me to a small pond that it drinks out of. I want for it to leave and decide to make camp nearby. Start to collect firewood. See a tree with some old and very thin string attached to it. It had a single brownish red bead on it. Didn't think much of it, cut it off the tree and threw it into the fire. Set up camp and make a fire using a bow drill. Boil some water and just sit admiring the wilderness. Just passing the time until nightfall. It begins to get dark, so I put some more stones around the fire and toss a few logs in. Crawl inside my tent, which was just some tarp and some bedding I made out of leaves and grass. Fall asleep with Nugget in arms. Wake up. Go outside and check the fire. It's out except for a few embers. Start a new fire with flint because my hands have always been pretty stiff when I wake up. Cook some food I had brought along and hum to myself. Finish my breakfast and put the fire out. Begin to load my gear back into my pack when I notice that in the distance, the tree that had the bead from yesterday now has another string, this time, with 2 beads on it, one brownish red, the other is yellow. Fuck. Go to it and look around for any tracks or signs of someone being around. See some broken twigs behind some trees, but that's it. Decide to scout the area out. Begin to walk around the area, hoping to find someone. Look around for a few hours but nothing. Decide that they're most likely gone, so fuck it. See another deer in the distance, must be at least 300 m away. Begin to sneak up to it with Nugget in hand. Get about 100 m away from it and decide I shouldn't go any closer due to the fact that I might scare it. Kneel down on one knee and begin to aim at the deer. Thumb. The deer drops like a sack of shit and I go over to it to get my kill. I walk towards the deer and finally arrive at its body. Take out my fire bow and begin to make a fire. Grab some stones to act as a table and start to cut up my meat. Hear some twigs breaking in the distance. Assume it's an animal that's smelt the dead deer or something. Take entrails and fur about 300 m away from cooking site. Begin to cook my deer and sit down on a few rocks next to a tree only a few feet away. Begin to feel the need to take a piss. I sling my Nugget over shoulder and go out a while to take my piss. Go to a tree and start to take my piss. Hear some banging and shit near my cook site. Don't want to startle a bear or some shit, so I slowly turn my head. See some bitch and some old fuck dressed in raggedy cloths, almost like some type of robe, taking my bag and deer. Zip the fuck up and shoulder my Nugget. Hey, what the foo? Fuckers begin to run off with my shit. They begin to run past some large trees and bushes. Chase them but losing ground. Realize all of my shit is going to be gone if I don't do something. Stop or I'll fucking shoot you both. They don't stop. The old fuck turns and smiles back at me. Aim at old fuck carrying my bag and shoot. He falls to the ground and the lady drops the deer to run back to her old fuck. Begin to run towards them, but I'm still far away. She leaves the bag and deer and grabs the old fuck, then begins dragging him into some bushes. Hey, stop motherfucker. Get back here, what the fuck are you doing? Rip off my medic pack that sits on the outside of my pack. Rush into bushes to figure out WTF they are doing. Follow the blood trail. Get to a clearing. Blood trail makes a dead stop in the middle of this clearing. No larger amount of blood, the trail just stops. They are both fucking gone. Runs hands to my hair out of frustration and confusion as to just what the fuck happened. Oh shit, my pack. Run back to my pack and food. Deer is gone and some shitty knife is stuck in my pack, but nothing was taken from it. Oh fuck me fuck hotha fuck goddmmit. Rip out knife and throw it into the distance in anger. It's getting dark, so I rush like a bitch to get away from this site in opposite direction that I came. It's finally dark, but I keep running for a few hours, because I just want the fuck out of this place. Eventually get too tired to run, so I sit next to a tree and make a small fire, just enough to give me some comfort. Grab a package of food from my back and begin to eat out of it, holding my fork with food on it over the fire to heat it up since I just wanted a quick meal. Eventually finish my portion and stuff the package back into my pack. Be sitting there, staring at the fire in front of me, clutching my nugget and keeping the pack between my legs, with a spare clip in my right hand. I'm a lefty. Decide to scout the area out since I was getting sleepy. Turn on my flashlight, was literally just a Dorsey flashlight taped to my rifle, and look around. Don't see shit but trees and bushes. I guess I'm in the clear. Decide to just sleep sitting against a tree tonight, with my pack under my ass and my rifle in hand. Wake up in middle of night after having a nightmare about what happened a few hours ago. Fire is out, my ass hurts, and it's darker than shit. Decide to make a new fire, get some food, then maybe I'd sleep easier. Look around for some kindling and some small twigs to burn, just enough for a few minutes. See some light in the distance, appears to be a torch or something. Get down and behind a tree, staring at the new light in the distance. Hear a small roar and some people talking in God knows what language. DEFCON 2. Hear the roar again and eventually I see some people, a decent-sized group, some with red and black robes, some with vests and jackets. They are about 200 m away, walking in perpendicular towards me, but still approaching. I can make out that one of them is holding onto a rope or some shit. They begin to get closer. I lean up against the tree and try to get a view of just how many people are there. Must be around fucking 15 people. Begin to panic internally and begin to aim my rifle at them, in case they see. I slip against the bark of the tree and make a soft thud against the dirt. The leader, rope holder guy, turns his head towards me. Yells something in his fucking bitch language. See, the rope is attached to a motherfucking grizzly bear. Turn on my flashlight since I'm fucked anyways and deploy my motherfucking bayonet. They all begin yelling at me and raising their arms and shit. I point my rifle into the air and fire a warning shot. Biggest fucking mistake of my life. I load the next round, but as soon as I fire, the fucker releases the bear. Start running away faster than I physically know fucking how, but only get maybe 10 feet before the bear has covered the fucking distance. Turn and ram my bayonet into the fucking bear's neck as it throws me to the ground. It lunges at me and sticks one of its claws into my fucking arm. trying to stop this fucker from ripping my face off as I use the nugget as a barrier between me and the fucking bear. Grab the rope attached to its neck and pull to the side. It moves its head almost gracefully and I grab my nugget with my right hand and fire into the fucker's head. Bear drops on top of my left leg. See the group walking toward me, maybe 75 m away. Grab my crowbar and dig out the dirt around my leg trying to free myself. Reload next round in nugget and take a pot shot at the crowd. Hit some random fucker in a winter jacket. The group charges at me. Ofushit fucks. Claw at the dirt and rip at it. Eventually my leg becomes just loose enough to get out. Begin running like crazy away from these fuckers. Only have my nugget and 2 clips, with maybe 3 to 5 rounds of ammo in random pockets. Keep running, but fuck, they are catching up. Turn and shoots at them, hitting the main fucker in the shoulder. Keeps running, occasionally turning to shoot at the group. They keep screaming and throwing rocks or sticks. A few rocks hit me in the back, but I didn't fucking give a shit. I'm running like a bitch and far past the point of being out of breath. I take another pot shot at them and keep running. Run past trees and brushes, slipping in mud and cut my foot against something. I don't stop fucking running. The instant I look back I'm fucking dead. I can feel them just a few feet away. Run into a dirt road and book it fucking down the road. Run for at least another hour, scared out of my fucking mind. Eventually, see a farm with a truck outside. Run into the back door, slamming into it and turns the door handle, collapsing inside onto my knees with my rifle in hand. Begin yelling to her, but I'm so tired and dehydrated that I'm just speaking fucking gibberish. Some dude in his 40s comes down with a shotgun and wants to know who the fuck I am. Look behind me and see the field behind me is empty. Slouch against the wall and smile. The dude gets pissed at me and yells at me again. The old lady hands me some water and I down it. Begin telling them WTF happened. Eventually talk to some cops. Apparently there's been some satanic cult activities in the past, but they can't locate them. They let me go. Eventually make it home through hitchhiking and a lot of walking. I will never go hiking alone again. Fuck Satanists.
Neighbor to north has lots of cattle. Hear and feel cattle running. Distinct noise and feeling when hooves trampling ground. Hear it getting louder. Turn to the northwest corner of land. Lots of trees, little gap between the northern hills and western hills. Waiting for cows to come running through small gap. See giant dog-like animal bolt out of bushes in the gap right at me. Barely time to even stand all the way up with goats in hands before it reaches the fence. It's almost as tall as the fence, which is about 5.5 feet tall itself. It looks ugly as fuck. Really dirty dark fur. Looks like a Great Dane fucked a coyote. It starts growling, barking, snarling at me through the fence. Could have probably gone over the fence easily if it wanted to. Was taught when dealing with mountain lions and coyotes, dogs to try and scare them off rather than run, otherwise trigger animals' hunting instinct. Start slamming fist on washer machine I had been sitting on. Yelling at it and making myself appear bigger. No weapons on me because never needed to carry one on our land before. Standoff for few minutes. It starts heading east again. Stand there for a moment, then remember that the fence is weak to the east. Book it back to house holding baby goat like a football. Get into house. Dad makes it a rule we can't go outside after dark without being armed. Since then, haven't seen it. But 2 months ago something ate our golden retriever, and I doubt it was a group of coyotes, and the mountain lions don't stray from the lakes or rivers that far, so we assumed it had to be whatever the fuck it was that tried to eat me. My dad says sometimes when he waters the trees in the twilight hours he feels watched.
A chilling tale from the Northwoods, about 5 years ago, Ina Porkies. First snow of the year has left a light dusting that flocks everything in white. Break camp at 6, start heading down the trail, hoping to make Lake of the Clouds by lunchtime. About an hour along, I start hearing a dull, rhythmic thudding in the distance. As I keep walking, the sound gets closer, more distinct, it becomes apparent it's drumming. Decide to break off the trail to check it out, 'cause it might be hippies and they might have pot. Tracking the sound, I realize there's a sort of droning buzz accompanying it. Round a hill, I come across a ravine. In the bottom of the ravine there's a man sitting cross-legged, beating a drum with a hatchet, and chanting in what sounds like Finnish. He's completely naked, except he's wearing what looks like an uprooted birch trunk over his head like a mask. He's smeared with blood. I have my .357, because black bears, on my hip, so I draw it just to be safe. Man stops drumming and chanting. Tree trunk spins around on his shoulders, towards me. There's a knothole that this huge eyes stares at me through, and my blood goes cold. I barely stammer out, "Howdy." Man springs to his feet and sprints at me full tilt, brandishing hatchet. I fall backwards, thumb the hammer, and fire a shot at him at 20 feet. Don't know if I hit him, because he jumps into the air and runs off in the other direction. I watch him disappear over the other side of the ravine before I remember that I'm not a stone. Nope. I hightail it back to He Trail, running as fast as my legs will let me. Get to the trail, and I just keep running. After 5 minutes of dead sprint, I stop to catch my breath. I'm doubled over, puking drool and gasping for breath, when I faintly hear soft footsteps quickly getting louder behind me. Turn around in time to see a birch stump with a gruesome, bloodshot eye 6 inches from my face, then blackness. Come to I don't know how much longer later, when some other hikers shake me awake. They found me on the side of the trail, passed out and bleeding from the head. Looks like you tripped and cracked your head on a rock, buddy. Don't move, you might have a concussion. I look around, dazed. All my gear is accounted for, except for my Colt Python. Park rangers are called, and I'm evac'd to the nearest hospital. Decide it's best not to tell doctors or rangers what happened, on account of my head wound would just make them write it off as brain damage, and ain't nobody got time for dat. Go home, report gun missing, and decide to never go hike the Porcupine Mountains again.
Okay, I've got a short one. Not that scary but still strange. Live in Central California out in the country. Me, my dad, and brother are going in the hills to go shoot. Follow our family friends out to a new shooting spot that they like. All the hills are owned by Bureau of Land Management, so you'll occasionally see rangers. Go way further into foothills than we normally go. About 15 miles and see an old man about 50 yards off dirt road. He's really skinny, full white beard, overalls, looks like a prospector. He's just digging a hole next to a really shitty looking RV. He looks up and sees us and stops digging. Don't think much of it and keep driving about 5 more miles till we get to the spot. Have a good day of shooting and fucking around. Driving back, about 150 yards from where the old man was, we pass a ranger driving the other way. As we round the corner, we see the old man standing right next to the road with his shovel. Makes eye contact and puts his finger to his lips. Feedfuck.png. Follows us with his head as we drive by, still with his fingers to his lips. My brother and I both nope the fuck out. The driver somehow doesn't see this, so we keep driving, and the rest of the day is uneventful. Story is pretty boring, but still it was easily the creepiest thing I've ever seen in real life.
Not nopey enough for y'all, but still shit shat shut muh pants be me 2 years ago. Armed security guard at a bank. They have me making rounds outside the bank every hour. Start my round, everything seems normal. Round nearly complete. Walking around the right side of the building, back to front of bank where the parking lot is. Round the corner and see a truck and a fucking Jason mask peering out from behind the tinted windows. Nope, nope, nope. Get back behind wall. Fuck this shit, I'm not going out like those armored car guys in Heat. Peek around corner. Mask still gazing straight ahead in the direction of the front door. Good the robber haven't noticed me. Maybe I can sneak up behind when they exit the vehicle, tactically sneak through parking lot, and duck behind a car, about 25 feet away, prepare to draw my sidearm. Peek up from behind the car and the mask hasn't moved at all in the past minute, still gazing straight ahead. WTF is going on here? My face when I realize that truck belongs to a regular customer of the bank who works as an actor in a haunted house and there is nobody in there. Just a mask hanging from the rear view mirror that he put there for decoration.
2007 or 8, forgot the exact time, but late 2007 early 2008. Friends, go exploring way in bumfuck nowhere around eastern Oregon. Get lost in woods for hours. GPS isn't working right after about the first 2 hours of hiking. Getting dark. Hearing animals in the woods, coyotes and other larger game. Pull out Sig 9mm. Walk out into a clearing hoping it's the road. No road, just a large clearing with a small slightly beat up ranch house and a light on in the front room. Run up to door. Start knocking. One friend points out this could be a couple of old rednecks with a moonshine operation running. Holster gun and pull jacket over it. Keep knocking. Nothing. Door is slightly ajar. Push it open slowly. Call out, hello, anyone home? We have been lost in the woods all day and we're wondering if you could point us to the road. Hear nothing. Hello, we're coming in. Push door open. 3 of us are in your doorway, anyone here? We walk in, the air just feels thin and creepy. I pull out my gun and start clearing the room with the light on. Really nothing in the room, a little stool and lamp sighting on it, it's a oil burning lamp, a old rotten couch. Go back into hallway and enter next room. Now where it gets dirty. Hear friend just scream bloody murder. Run back into hallway and into the room, he's now standing with gun drawn and ready to go. See a very dry, very old core hanging in the center of the room. It's nearly completely bone at this point, no cloths, and can't tell if it's a man or woman. Put gun away, looking around room. See a pantry that's just slightly open and hear a light noise like breathing. Pull gun, round chambered. Motion to friend to open the pantry. He slowly walks up and flings the door open. A man's body covered in flies and bugs, shotgun in hand, his head just covering the wall. Not nearly as decomposed. Nope, the fuck out and run away as fast as we can. Look back, see figure in front of the light before it goes dead. Nope.png.avi.jpg.gif. Whip out GPS, and check where we are. Shit's all kind of fucked, screen keeps flashing on and off where we are, but the lat and long are both 0/0. Shit fuck shit, we're ripping through the woods. Stop and catch breath. Look at GPS again. See out location, but it is still blinking back to another one marked 0. We start walking back to our car we had saved in the GPS, all the while it's blinking back to our previous location. Still have the heebie-jeebies. Finally back to car. GPS is still flipping shit. Get in car. Friends holding GPS and says it's blinking to around the car, but like 16 feet off. See light in the woods suddenly. Light flies towards us. Oil lamp smashes on front of car. Nope, 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 nope. Rip that shit into reverse and drive like a bat out of hell out of there. GPS still blinking to behind us. After we get about 30 miles away, the GPS goes back to normal. Never told anyone about it, never talked about it again.
Alright. Hot off the presses. Went to Padre Island National Seashore a few days ago, night 1. Planned to camp with GF, GF's sister, and GF's brother. Arrive after it gets dark because we suck at planning. Set up camp, dig fire pit, get fire going, sitting around, start drinking drinks and smoking smokes. Pretty peaceful, not too many other campers. See figure walking by the shore. Dog starts barking. Figure approaches. Hey, mind if we warm up by your fire? Defcon 3. Never had this happen before. Pretty nervous but say okay like an idiot. Guy walks up, looks completely homeless, shredded jeans, dreads. Other friend comes up, looks normal enough. Both are obviously high on something. Dreads guy begins really prying where we are all from. Defcon 2. Says he is from a city nearby. Finally he leaves. Friend stays. Friend is just fucking mumbling about shit. Says the guy is from Idaho now. Defcon 1. He walks off. TTC comes out. Round in the chamber. Barely sleep that night. Night 2. Weirdos leave after spending the entire day in their truck. Feel better. Gets dark. Start up fire. Start drinking drinks and smoking smokes. Park ranger truck drives by and tells us we have to put out our fire. Put it down to embers. Sitting around in the dark. See obviously very drunk figure stumbling towards us through the darkness. God damn it, not again. X. Everyone gets up. Move toward car for gun. It's just a drunk as shit college kid. Still nervous, but not as bad as night 1. Never had shit like that happen before.
It's this time again, /K/. Delicious, nope thread. Hunters, hikers, Innawoods operators, I dare you to share your Innawoods weird encounters and creepy experiences so we can enjoy evening together in a spooky atmosphere. I start, you bilge rats. Remember this story, told a couple months ago. Greentext. Fine. Pick up 2 commandos for the trip. Nuggets talk everywhere. Both had some pretty nice guns. One brought a Vector MP5 pistol, other had a FS 2000 fish. We mocked him the whole trip with normal /K/ banter. I took my underfolder AK. We met up with everyone else, grabbed the gear and head out. First 3 days go by somewhat normal. Halfway to the last location I had the cult mapped at we get blizzard snow conditions. Forced to set up camp and hold out for a little. Tents set up, get fire started thanks to cheap booze. We sit back and freeze by the fire shooting the shit and cooking beans, terrible idea. Snow keeps coming, 2.5 days of snow. Get on the move finally, slow but steady progress. Get on trail of cult. Commandos don't believe us. Find deer with limbs cut off, it's still somewhat alive. /K/Unt throws up all over this live limbless deer. He puked on it 3 times before running off. Put it down so it stops suffering. Keep moving but veer off in the other direction since it's getting late and we need a set up camp. Nightfall comes and once again we are sitting by the fire drinking and having fun. My brother goes to piss and comes back scared shitless. Says there were 2 pairs of eyes watching him. It's a wild animal or else you wouldn't be able to see eyes. We all walk over with loaded guns and lights to check it out. Fucking mountain lion, fire warning shot, chase it off. Turn back to camp only to see our fire get put out. Here we go. GIF. Run over lights aimed at camp.
Water/snow put on fire, only tent sliced open, thank God for duct tape. /K/unt, who threw up on deer, is going pussy on us even though he has that fish for protection. Other commando mag dumps to scare whoever it was off. Take turns keeping watch. Get on the move again, halfway to next camp. Make detour. Come across slab of marble in the middle of nowhere, huge amounts of dried up blood everywhere. Fresh blood stained snow. Moving to next camp when it starts snowing again. All of a sudden, we missing a commando. Guy with MP5 was secretly drinking during the day, he ended up getting turned around, slipped down a hill, and broke his leg on a tree. We had to stop the trip, but it was pretty damn fun being out in the woods shooting and getting drunk with some /K/unts.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.